there were multiple times when they created alternate objectives for us to gather more reinforcements. And we sent people to those planets to liberate and get more reinforcements. But every single time we were doing that, we were consuming days on the telly for our main mission. You know, we were running out of time. And, oh, watch this. There. And my ability's back up. Even though I'm pretty sure that I just used this ability, you know, and took out incapacitated Majoris, but yeah, Silver Turret's back up again because that's not OP at all, and it's back up again, even though it really shouldn't be. It should be on a 90-second cooldown, but hey, who's counting, right? So that's what I mean when I say that currently this servo reset talent thingy is kind of busted. Oh, and there we go, back up again. Even though that really shouldn't be the case. That's so gonna get a like that needs to get a hotfix. Uh-oh. They even pulled on our heartstrings with the They even pulled on our heartstrings with the Sif regiment being pinned down in that city that further diverted our efforts away from the Transcendence capital city. Yeah, yeah. Um, you know, they and you know that we're gonna go for it, right? Like if there's anything that the children's hospital proved, it's that, you know, our Helldiver community does care. Like they genuinely do. And it's not something that we take lightly, you know? We'll we'll risk it all. Like we did it to save a children's hospital. You don't think we'll do it to save our safe citizens and our, you know, other soldiers out there? They may not be Helldivers, but they're our people. We're gonna fight for them. Like that's beyond question, you know? It's not like it's very different from how we treat, like, say, Astra Militarum in the Warhammer universe, where we treat them as like people who were born to die, and that's just, you know, who they are and what they're meant to do because that's their lot in life. Yeah, no, that's not how we treat our Super Earth citizens, you know. And that is a Carnifex, because of course it is. Enemies are behind. This is a turret. Oh, nice hit, buddy. Come on. That's right. Come this way. And scream. Huh? What the? What was that? What on earth was that? Come on. Uh-oh. Alright. Come on, spin it again. Oh, oh. Alright. Ow. Oh, this is not good. Why is that not good? Because now we're in phase 2. Now, Ow. Come on. Show me what you got, huh? Yeah, didn't think so. Tank mines? Nah, we saving them orphans. Worth in that case, to be honest, but on Cyberstan, pull it together, gamers. The sacrifice was honored before they even set foot on the planet. Fair enough, yeah. It's true, like we all knew the deal. We all knew what we were in for. We knew it was a suicide mission, like um, you know. But they played their hand and I guess you could say that they came out on top. Well, you could say the devs played their hand and the bots came out on top, I guess would be a more accurate way to describe it. Oh, hi, Sentry. Nice to see you here where you are completely usable and useful. What are you shooting at? Oh, my goodness me. Good sir. You're making a scene, sir. You are making a very terrible scene. I was in the middle of a conversation and line of thought. Did the turret see that lictor while it was invisible? That was weird. Oh. Oh, and yeah, another bug I've noticed now: when you get a certain distance away from turrets that you've actually activated, they have a tendency to blow up. They just straight up blow up. That was not the case before. Something must have happened. They must have done something with their new patch. God, love and hate those turrets. I get the entire mission turrets in the transitory parts of the mission, but not in the active parts of the mission. Yep, exactly. Ow. Come on. Oh. Hmm. But the couple turrets you do get, you part of the mission, absolute cinema. That's true. Come on, show me what you got, huh? Oh, well, apparently we got the code, so that's cool. Yeah, when turrets are in great spots, they're awesome. When they're not, which is like 70% of the time, they're they're fine. Sometimes they're nifty to try and kite enemies toward them. They're okay, I guess. They can be either super clutch or super not. you know, you know what I mean. Oh, hello. What are you doing here, huh? Didn't hear that you did not make a. Sir, you did not make a call. Your phone bill is overdue. Hmm. Just whirling and twirling. Electrifying, brother! It's good to have you on again, man. Hello? Sir, you're making a scene. I'm gonna have to ask you to stop. Seriously, stop it! Electrifying, good to have you on, brother. But better yet, turrets are behind massive horde of enemies, so when you finally come through everything, is when you can finally reach them when they're useless. Yep, that's, 75% of the time, that's pretty much what the turrets are.
The Cadians are running out of time. How close are you to the Promethean facility? We have reached the
So, Classic Mama, Electrifying, good to see you guys both. Thank you for being active in the chat. How's your guys' day going? Hope everything's going well. I mean, kind of wish we had an ability to send out a servo skull to activate the turrets. You know what? That actually sounds like a great idea. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, that actually sounds like a fantastic idea. Oh. Oh, so much for those guys. You guys are in here like no time to waste. Alright.
Use the codes to bring the bomb and finish its deployment into the crypt Promethean well. Cautiously, if you know what is good for you.
I mean, there were those who were kind of hoping that the servo, like our ability as a tech marine, would be to actually deploy a turret at our designated location. Like we could call it in or something, you know?
Rites of activation have been observed.
But unfortunately, that's not what happens.
Machine God's name. Crane sequencing initialized.
Come on, let's get this thing going. Come on. Oh, alright. Generator 4 should be done that way. Okay.
Generator 4 is suffering mechanistic palpitations. Provide service before components are armed.
Come on. Show what you got, huh? There we go. Casually upgraded Brother Voltus. Oh wait, innovation is heresy. I'll see myself to the corner. Yeah, totally not heretical. Don't make us call the Inquisition now. What is happening? Is that a...
Disruption of operation of generator 2. Bring it into the Omniscience proper alignment.
Good night.
Repurposing battlefield sentry.
This turret's actually in a pretty okay spot. It's not bad. What is it saying? Chernobyl? Not great, not terrible.
Margin of error is attention. The Emperor demands perfection. Driving is challenged. Even perform the necessary cleansing to resume operation. Jam clear. Drive train restored.
Well,
Begin the chorus of locomotion.
I'll take it.
Swarm moving on generator 1.
Generator 1. Not right.
Rally to point. Biological incursion.
Dang it. Too late. Should not have done that execute animation, that was my fault. Our rake. There we go. Damn, autocorrect got me abominable intelligence, but he's going to my upgrades into upgraded. Fair enough. Alright, let's move on.
Fresh ammunition acquired.
Yeah, like I couldn't see that coming.
Detected and destroyed. Inserting fresh magazines.
You guys wanna fight it, or? You guys wanna fight it, let me know.
Xenos alpha base eradicated. No turning back. Understood.
Oh. Might actually take that. Yeah, get some grenades back. I have Lassie. Alrighty.
The world this Xenos sought to consume now consumes its carcass.
Indeed. The world now consumes the Xenos' carcass. That's interesting, considering that the Xenos are like not parasites, but supposedly they're closer to like white blood cells or something from the Tyranid hive mind. Yeah. Oh, of course. Hello. Hi. Uh-oh. That's not good. There we go. That's a Ravena, isn't it? Yep. Alright, so my friends take care of the Neurothrope, and I deal with the extremists, apparently. Alright. Come on. Yeah! 1, 2, wait, 3. If ever you fight a Ravena, that's the combination. Dodge, gun strike. Come on, do it again. 1, 2, wait, 3. Dead. Whenever you find yourself fighting a Ravena and you think it's scary, just know that they have one pattern that they always love to do. Just go parry 1, 2, wait, 3. Something like that. Nice. Well, my partners did take care of the Neuro. That's nice.
For the Emperor, for the Omnicide. This tarantula is still battle-worthy.
Apologies, brother. I was not available as I was hung up dealing with some extra things in a dark corner.
We will wreak such havoc upon the enemy, the Emperor will see it from terror.
Well, that's 3 bits of relic data, which means there should be no more terminus enemies for the rest of the run. Unless, of course, we have a disconnect and the host migrates, in which case there can be another one. And yes, that is something for people who don't know. If there's a host migration, even if you have all the same people, if the host migrates, objectives can reset, and you might actually have a 3rd terminus enemy spawn in mission, as it doesn't record the last one. That happened once. That was something. Coming out of it with 4 relic data in a mission. It's like, huh, alright. Oh, he's going in hard. And you know what? We love it. Hydra extremists. Why? Of course. Can you guys please come out of that? No? You're supposed to cancel that mode after a while. Good old poison field, man. Sir, you're making a scene. There we go. Never seen revenues as too big of an issue, as my big old plasma gun just kind of ruins its day permanently, but I wager that's just a perk of not being on the highest difficulty, but I'm working my way up. Hey, classic, that is perfectly fine, you know? Plasma guns do hit them really hard, there's no lie in that. It actually does stagger them quite well too. Um, and you know what? Working you up is a good thing, you know? That's perfectly fine. And the best thing about this game is since it's like by design, um, it takes things very slowly. You're actually meant to play at your own pace and go up in difficulty slowly. Like that's the whole point. Because there's a lot of things that you learn as you go up in difficulty that only become apparent after you've experienced them on lower difficulties first. You're not supposed to like go from difficulty 1 straight to difficulty 6. I think that's how many we have. 6, yeah. You're not meant to do that. Um, there's so many things that you learn on the way that help you, um, and they make you a better person at combat, at the way the mechanics work. Um, and that is something that a lot of people tend to take for granted. And when they do that, you end up, it greatly lowers the success rate of missions. It can actually lower morale of the team. Like, I, you know, I'm playing on Absolute now, but I didn't start on Absolute. I clawed my way up, and I never ever overestimated my abilities there, you know. And that's the best bit about the game. It's do it at your own pace. Never feel compelled to rush it. It's actually the very reason that when you pick a new class and you're unlocking armor pieces, the armor pieces don't get to you based on like whatever your level is. They're based on how many missions you complete, because the game actively wants you to play missions repeatedly. So they want you to have as many missions as possible on the varied difficulties. So I think it's actually a pretty good design, to be perfectly honest. Look at all these buggies. Oh, that guy's dead. We're just cleaving through them. Yeah. Right. Phase 2. Yep, I see him. What the? Somebody already activated the gas early? You should never do that, because if you activate the gas too early, then you can't. Yeah, it's not timed. Yep, somebody activated it way too early. Oh man, that's unfortunate. Oh, screw it. We'll do it the old-fashioned way.
The squad is almost fully committed. Be ready for my mark. Use the Promethean again.
Says we can use it again, but by this point we're pretty much done. Yeah, well, he's dead.
Swapping magazine. Mending flesh.
Stealth ready.
Good night.
You are clear to detonate. Cook those rotten bastards. Let us spark the flames of vengeance.
There have been recently some complaints that the spawn rates of enemies on difficulties, I think three,
Bioscience down
3 and 4, I want to say, substantial and ruthless are kind of overtuned at the moment. So just be wary of that. What is that? Oh, what a shot, sniper! Outstanding.
Go.
Which I found cool as hell, because drip then partially becomes thorough I've through blood and sweat and heresy earned this shit right here, instead of I was carried on a high difficulty and kind of just got it or I bought it. But there's a bit of that latter. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like I mean, it's by design, right? It wants you to earn your armor, your drip, right? And you do it by constantly playing. You know, it's not locked behind a particular difficulty. At least most aren't. There are like very few that are locked behind difficulty, but by the time you get around to those, you'll have gone through all of the other previous ones, and you'd have worked your way up. And like 95% of the drip in the game you get on any difficulty simply just by playing, because it's based on how many operations you complete. You know, and that's a good thing. That's actually a good design. So 10,230. 10K again. 10,250. Wow. Wait, the assault had 12k melee and 12k range damage. Dang, that's a lot. That's actually a surprising amount. Well, let's see how much XP we get for this. We'll go from level 10, and with 10k XP, I'm gonna bet 16? If we're lucky, 17. Wow, 17? No way, not 18. No way. Wow, from 10 to 18, that's incredible. I thought he kept it like 16 at most. Cool. Oh, well, at 18, you've got the second team perk, which I think it allows the team to restore 2 armor shards every time they execute a Majorus or Extremis enemy, which is like really, really strong. So at that point, I think the Techie is pretty much complete. Dang, that was a lot. Insane, yeah. Like that was 2 whole levels more than I thought it would be. Oh, host has left the game, so that's that. Um, yeah, man. All right. Well. So let's see what perks we have unlocked. Methodical destruction. Enemies damaged by equipment take 25% more damage for 10 seconds. I still prefer arc cleave. Charge melee attacks do 20% more. Push the advantage. After a finisher, your melee weapon deals 20% more damage for 15 seconds. I do love that. I love fighting in melee combat with this class. Damage equipment is higher. This is fine. I understand this, but for me personally, I love melee combat. Oh, and this one, battlefield repairs. Yeah, mission success rate went up the moment I unlocked that team perk, so it's so balling. Yeah, yeah. Um, compared to the older variant, which was like, what is it? Whenever a teammate member uses a stim, you'll heal, but then you'll also restore all of your armor and then plus one extra armor shard. Which there were some people that did like that, and I understand why some people thought that the change was a nerf. Particularly those who did like solo runs, as either with just bots or true solo, they found that older variant a lot more um useful when you're fighting like big bosses and you're in the clutch, like you're in really you either clutch or clench situations. That was really good. But in my personal opinion, I think this is a much better perk all round at all difficulties for not only you but your teammates' survivability chances. I think this is incredible. So, and I'd always advocate for this perk, definitely. Inexorable salvo. While the salvo gun is activating, you do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back. This effect lasts 15 seconds after the activation. This is very good with the current bug on decapitating stratagem, but once they fix this, I don't think it's gonna be as useful as it seems. So I'm not gonna get like attached to this one, and I think I'm just gonna stick with designated target, where enemies hit by the silver gun take 15% more damage all around for 10 seconds. And mind you, that 15% more damage isn't just from you; it's 15% more damage from all sources. So your allies as well do more damage to the target that your gun hits. So it's a very good support tool. Otherwise, in most cases, the any perk that can allow you to not lose control upon taking heavy hits and you cannot be knocked back, those are usually very good on higher difficulties, because the last thing you want to do when you're in the middle of combat is be interrupted when you're trying to do a gun strike to get contested HP back. Like, gun strikes are actually a very important way to recover a huge chunk of contested HP, your white health, when you're in the middle of combat. And there's nothing more painful than when you're in the middle of that animation and an enemy just knocks you down. Because then at that point, not only do you are you unable to pull off the gun strike and get your CHP back, contested health, CHP back, but you've also taken more damage. So now you've got this even bigger set of white health bar, and like you're like wondering, what do I do now? So, but in the case of the Tech Marine, I personally do not recommend it, um, because of two reasons. Number one, um, the fact that the only way you can get this is attached to activating your sentry turret, your servo gun, means that it's not going to be available all the time when you actually need it. Number two, right, because of the fact that it's attached to the cooldown. So, like I said, unless you're running it with this, right, to get the cooldown back instantly, it's not going to be very useful. And once they fix this perk, it's going to go on 90-second cooldown. So what that means is, right, that at best you'll only be able to activate this perk 2 times every 90 seconds. So there's just no point investing any perks into it. It's just completely pointless. Number two, the other reason why I do not recommend it in the case of the Tech Marine is because, as I had mentioned to Corn earlier, when he was asking about how combat feels with the Tech Marine, the Tech Marine is the only class in the game where gun strikes don't happen from your pistol, like 99% of the time. It happens instead from your gun turret on top. And since that happens when you're in the middle of combat, you can still actively dodge and actively parry while you are doing gun strikes. Electrifying. Rawr, rawr. Sorry, I was dealing with something. Were you dealing with a particular worrisome thing going on back there, buddy? Don't worry. No heresy here. No heresy here. But yeah. So this is the one class where I actually don't recommend this, which is really unfortunate because any other class, I would always recommend taking at least one perk that can give you some resistance. Another thing, and this is a very, very important note, when it says you cannot be knocked back, right? You don't lose control upon taking heavy hits and you cannot be knocked back. This is not 100% true. This is partially true. So the way combat works in this game, if you get hit by an enemy melee attack, your character will be staggered, right? Your character will be staggered. And if you get hit by an even bigger attack, like a massive attack from, like, say, a, a Carnifex charging, for example, you won't get staggered. You'll get rolled onto the floor. You'll get knocked all the way back down. What this does is that basically it only gives you one layer of protection. So in other words, an attack that would make you stagger, you will resist that. And an attack that would knock you on your ass, instead of being knocked on your ass, you'll just be staggered. That's all. So it just gives you one layer of protection. That's all it does. So please be aware of that. So if ever you feel that you're supposed to be invincible but you take a hit, it's usually because you got hit by a very big attack that normally would have knocked you flat on your butt. Anyway, that's enough of my ranting for that. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. Next, augmented tarantula. Tarantula sentry gun does 30% more damage and also has 50% more ammo. This, I remember when this class first came out, everyone was saying, oh, this is great, you can use it, you can camp next to the turret, you take that with this one, where everyone's nearby, you deal 15% more damage, take 25% less damage. Yeah, all well and good till you realize that you're here, these are the enemies, and the sentries over here. So you have to go through everybody to get to that one sentry in order to activate, these two things, and for that to just be pointless. So yeah, no point taking them. Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. Next, fortifying salvo. Killing or incapacitating an enemy with the servo gun restores one armor segment on a 30-second cooldown. This is not bad. Actually, when you're playing on lethal, absolute, and hard stratagems, um, in other words, at the highest difficulties, having the ability to passively regenerate armor, automatically get armor back without, having to execute an enemy, is very, very important. And the reason why is because, for anyone who doesn't know, the way armor works in the game, right, is that if ever you have even just a sliver, let's say, for example, these are your three armor shards here, right? These are the three armor shards, and you're fighting in combat with an enemy, even like a Carnifex or a Tragon, a big boss, even any enemy. When each armor shard will absorb typically one melee hit, unless it's a big cleaving attack, which will absorb two melee hits. That said, if you're down to just one bit of armor left, even if it's just like a sliver, not even half, right? Even if you have just a small percent, let's say you have 10% of just one last bit of armor left. If an enemy attack that is melee would cleave you and would remove all of this armor and cleave into your health, that the melee attack's damage will be stopped at the last bit of armor. It'll only consume the armor and your health is completely untouched. That's why having passive armor restoration is very important. Um, and mind you, that only applies to melee hits. If an enemy snipes you, yeah, that they can pierce right through. That's a different thing altogether. So that's why having armor is pretty important. 30-second cooldown, so yeah, it's fine. After using the servo gun, melee damage increases by 35%. These are both good, I'm not gonna lie. But you know what? I think I might try this. I'll try and go with this one. I mean, they're both servo gun related. One just gives you more damage for 10 seconds, and one gives you an armor segment back every 30 seconds. It's not the most important thing, considering that, you get two armor shots here for finishing off a Majoris or Extremis. Killing or incapacitating? Ah, no, it's tied to killing or incapacitating. I don't think it's that important then. Yeah, because you get two from here, so I'll take the 35% melee damage. Lethal perimeter. The silver gun marks a zone and automatically attacks enemies that enter it using 50% less energy per shot. Um, I I think this will be better when they fix this perk and actually make it go on a 90-second cooldown. The 50% less energy consumption would make you get a lot of value um, out of precision, the sniper turret. As it stands, though, I think that 50% less energy is completely outweighed by the fact that this thing has a ridiculously fast cooldown. So we'll keep to this one. Classic says, I wish that was a viable strategy. I love the sentries, but they're so inconsistent. Oh yeah, you're talking about the sentry builds? Yeah, yeah. They're terribly inconsistent. And you have no control over where the turrets will spawn. That's entirely up to RNG. So you can't rely on it. Which is really unfortunate, you know. I hope that they fix that down the line. Plasma enhancement, the silver gun now fires exploding plasma projectiles at enemies. That's all well and good, but I think it's nothing compared to how the sniper works. Look at all the turret changes. So these two are fine, the regular gun, but when you change to this one, the hit becomes an actual plasma cannon. So you can fulfill your fantasy of being a predator. You know, you know. But yeah, no. I think the sentry one is still too good at the moment. Mm.